What up, everyone? This is Mr. Lord, Dr. Professor, Dark Joker, here with another edition of Traditional Fans with Opinions, where I'll give my reviews for whoever I watched, read, or played today. And who are Traditional Fans with Opinions? That is myself, and that is you, the viewers. With all that being said, on with the reviews. Black Butler, Season 5, Episode 11. So in this one, those two German Grim Reapers, um, Ludger and Sascha, they see that Seal, made the deal with the demon. They realize that he's a male. And then basically, so after that we see Tonica drive off like one of the female soldiers, so Great where and basically like Tonica's just a very good fighter, and then when Mayron's help, Tonica is able to like drive her off. And they see a flare from Seal, which means that the escape route was changed. So Diedrich, Baldroy, and Snake reach like this military railway, and then basically so then Finian's there, who is Sieglund, and Tonica and Mayron are with them. So basically all of them they reunite, go onto the train. Wolfram appears, points a gun in Sieglund's direction, but it's revealed he's not shooting Sieglund, he's shooting Great. Then Wolfram runs after the train, yells to Sealand that like he's sorry for lying to her, tells her that she's not a witch, she's a normal girl. But then he's shot by Hilde. And then, we see Wolfram's backstory, like so like basically his time in the military, he was basically sent to he was given an alias of Wolfram Gelzer and to sign to watch over the witch and the Emerald Witch and kill her if necessary. It's so that he basically didn't like the job at first, but he basically started caring for Sieglin. That's why he betrayed all the other military people. So Sebastian kills Hilde and takes Wolfram onto the train. So and then basically like so like Wolfram he wakes up after he flashback into everything, and then he sees that he's on the train, and basically so Sieglin and Seal form surgery on Wolfram, and then Wolfram's he's fine, he's alive. So Seal asks Diedrich if basically if I guess if they can hide that Diedrich's place because they can't go to a hospital because the German military would be a little pissed off. Basically, the reason Seal wanted Wolfram to survive is because they need someone to be able to watch over Sealand and have some and to have some insurance to keep people away from him so that since he knows too much about what the Germans were doing. Sebastian asks that why Seal should have insurance when he has him. Seal tells Sebastian that he's the one he trusts the least, which is a good idea because Sebastian is a demon. So yeah, I really like this episode. It's really good. See some of Wolfram's backstory. Obviously we're at the end of like this mission, in the forest. So next episode is gonna deal with a lot of the should be dealing with a lot of the aftermath of it. And yeah, I really like this episode. Look forward to the next one. Yaiba Samurai Legend, Episode 11. So in this one, Yaiba fights Onimaru while everyone else fights Onimaru's minions. You see people outside like cheering on Yaiba and his group, wanting Onimaru to be defeated. And then Kojiro somewhat tries like a betrayal, fails miserably. And then basically the Spire guy says he's full of crap basically. And so then Onimaru gets the Rising Kin and escapes with his flying fortress. Everyone, outside celebrates, Onimaru leaving. They're happy that he's gone. But, they know that, there's still more. Everyone knows that there's still more to the battle. So Onimaru has a plan to use the Rising Kin, and everyone else must be ready to fight him. So yeah, I really like this episode. The animation was just fantastic. The combat just looked awesome. The music they do with the battles is just it's incredible. And so the humor is great. Yeah, it's so funny. Like this is such a good show. This is a great show. Like I really like this episode, and I'm looking forward to the next one. How to Train Your Dragon live action remake. So in this one, it just gives you the exact same story as the original animated movie, just in live action. So all the dragons are CGI. A lot of the sets, there's some practical stuff used for some of the sets, but there's a lot of CGI used. Then this basically, and this had so the acting in this mostly sucks. Like so, Gerard Butler's performance as Stoic the Vast is great. Gerard Butler is awesome. Everyone else sucks. Like it's like the original anime movie. The original like my opinion, the anime movies are mid. I really only watch this to review it. Otherwise, I wouldn't care to watch it. So the dragons look great. The CGI. They kind of look like what I kind of want dragons to look. Very scaly. You know, definitely to keep the same like by proportions. For each dragon as like the cartoons do. So the dragons are fine, and the set design is incredible. Like set design is done very well. And the music, they use the music from the movies. The music's always been good. And these ways, like where my problems I have with the animated movies, the music was good in those. So is the animation. But and then this movie, so the animation you had a lot of facial expressions. You actually had showed people showing emotion. The dialogue wasn't monotone. Where in this movie, most of the dialogue spoke in a very monotone-like manner. Now, some of that it could just be due to this generation, this younger generation of actors that who basically can't act well. Like they don't show emotion. They're very monotone for whatever reason. Whereas, dude, no one taught them how to act. No one whereas like emotion is just a foreign concept to them. I don't know. And the whole like controversy with Astra with whatever Nico Parker said like about how yeah, she should have said that's a little insufferable from her. And if the hair color was the same, she would have looked more like Astrid. Who now Astrid's based off like a minor character from the books. Like the anime movies very loosely adapt the books. I mean, they're kids' books. When it comes to adapting novels, kids' books, Hollywood's more willing to be loose with than more, I guess, young adult or adult books. Because most people read the kids are children. I mean that is why. Now, in my opinion, if they were going to remake the anime movies, they should have just been closer to the original books. That's the only way they could justify it. This could justify its existence. Like, I've never read the books, so I don't know necessarily how good it could have been because I've never read it. Now, like I know, basically in the books, trained dragons is already was already a thing, and Toothless, I believe, was not a Night Fury in the books. It's a different type of dragon, I think. And so basically they're Hiccup and his they're trained to ride dragons. And basically I know the books it's like they're supposed to successfully train a dragon or else they'll be exiled from the village. That's how I know the books go. At least the first one. And I think the rest of them just follow Hiccup's adventures after he successfully trains Toothless. So I'm like if they were gonna remake the movie, just directly adapt the books. You give people who have not read the book something new. So people who have only watched the movies, whose only reference is the movies, you could give them something to say, "Hey, look, we're gonna be closer to the books. So what you see in the anime movies is not necessarily what you're gonna see in this live action movie." And people, I think, would have been fine with that because you're saying we're gonna be closer to the original source material. So, like with the Disney live action remakes, for the ones that are adapted from pre-existing source material, like a novel or fairy tale or myth, whatever, if Disney said we're going to be closer to what the original cartoon movies adapted, so they said for Aladdin we're going to be closer to the original Arabian Nights story, or for Mulan we're going to be closer to the Chinese legend. Hunchback of Notre Dame we're going to be closer to the novel, which that's a very dark novel. You know, Hercules closer to the myth, which I don't think Disney would be willing to do that. So that'd be more of like an HBO thing, and or for Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella. Say we're going to be closer to the original fairy tales, like the original Grimm stories. They could and say, hey, look, this is what we're going to do, and use some of the designs, from the Disney stuff, some of the emotion, the color, and all that. Then they could have, and for this movie, so they could have they use some of the set designs, some of the color, some of the visuals from the animated movies, but just directly adapt the books. Let the characters look like how they look in the books and all that. I think it could have been a successful movie. Now this movie's gonna make a lot of money. It's a kids movie. Basically, if a movie's a kids movie and it's marketed enough, it's gonna make a lot of money, regardless if it's good or bad. It's just a fact. Moana made $1 billion, and and a lot of people hated it. I didn't even watch it because it just didn't seem like my kind of movie. It's a princess movie, you know. I wasn't gonna watch it anyway. So, but a lot of people who did watch it did not like it. Even people who liked the first movie did not like Moana. So so a lot of them were but it still made $1 billion because it's a kids movie. So this movie might make $1 billion. It might. Lilo and Stitch probably is about almost definitely going to. Minecraft, it got close, but Minecraft, I don't know if I would call that a kids movie due to some of the foul language and some of the there's a lot of stuff in it that I think would keep from being called kids. Now, Lilo and Stitch, I think, did have some foul language, like the live action, not the cartoon. No, not the cartoon. Now, some of the comments by the director of Lilo and Stitch could maybe prevent it from making $1 billion if but with not being a lot of stuff for kids these days, if there's a kids movie that's marketed enough, it will make a lot of money. And this movie's been marketed a lot. It will make a lot of money. It's just it's summer. Parents want to take their kids out, find them a movie to watch. I mean, that's essentially what like even though so for kids movies. So far, this is so far. I don't know if to be the same case be in the year because we still have a Demon Slayer movie releasing this year. In my opinion, based on U.S. wide release, the best movie of 2025 has been The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie. That is a kids movie, but it wasn't marketed a lot. Part is due to Warner Brothers being retarded. Like Warner Brothers is just retarded. Basically, like it was fantastic, great movie. It was incredible, but it was barely marketed. So you know, you basically have to look up what's releasing this year, in order to see like like you have to actually look up and see what's coming out in 2025 to figure out to learn that it's actually being released. And so like if you weren't aware of that Looney Tunes movie, you want to watch it, and it's a very good movie, very well animated, 2D classic 2D animation, very good writing, like and it didn't make a lot. It didn't make money. Like I think it lost money, like which sucked because it was a fantastic movie. But now this movie, How to Train Your Dragon 2025, it freaking sucks. Like it's just like the cartoon movies are mid. They are mid movies. But with this movie, when you have like we have bad acting outside Gerard Butler, it just makes it look worse. It just makes this movie look worse. Now, like the voice acting in the animated movie, it's why in the anime movies are why they're better than this one. And this is adapting the best of those three animated movies. Like, that is just terrible. This is not a good this is not a good movie. I'm probably one of the few people who's gonna say it's not a good movie. And I'm fine with going against the grain. I'm fine with it. Like heck, a lot of people I think the consent like for the best movies of 2024, the consensus was for a lot of people was Deadpool and Wolverine. For whatever reason, I don't know why that movie sucked. Now, for me, my opinion, best movie 2024, based on United States release date, a U.S. wide release date was Spy Family Code White. Now, based on initial release date, I'd say My Hero Academia was the best movie 2024. So, like, I'm willing to go against the grain. Heck, I think Prometheus is the best alien movie. That's really going against the grain. You know? And I think Predator Killer Killers is the best Predator movie. So, like, I'll say it. This movie sucks. It's not a good movie. Can't recommend it. It's just the same thing as if you want to just watch the cartoon movies. The voice acting is just so much better than what you hear in dialogue in this movie. I mean, outside Gerard Butler, like who does a very good performance. Like, if someone were to say nominate Gerard Butler for Best Supporting Actor, I wouldn't be entirely opposed to that. Even though I think this movie sucks because Gerard Butler does do a very good performance. Because that award is Best Supporting Actor. It's not Best Supporting Actor in a great movie. A movie doesn't have to be good for someone to win that award. It does help though. So Gerard Butler, I want piece of he ain't no he ain't gonna get nominated. No, no. A kids movie's not gonna get that kind of recognition. I mean, yeah, but yeah, I don't like this. I cannot recommend. And that's it. Did y'all like the stuff I reviewed? And if you have your own opinions about all that, you can put all that in the comments. Thank you for watching, and like, subscribe, and all that. And look forward to the next video.